Hi, I'm Vicky. Welcome to my channel and to this yoga flow for core strength. So in this flow, we're going to be really working on those deep core muscles, the ones that help to support your back, alleviating pain, perhaps helping to prevent back pain, and also help to improve your posture, improve your flexibility, and all that good stuff. So I want to start today right away in a supine position, which just means laying down on your back, on your mat, and keep the knees bent for now. Bring both hands to rest on the belly and then go ahead and close the eyes. Take a big breath in through the nose. Big release through the mouth. Coming to breathe now through just the nose. Taking a moment here to turn your awareness inwards. Noticing the breath. Noticing how you feel. Just giving yourself permission to ground yourself here in this moment. Committing to being present with yourself for the whole duration of this class. When your mind wanders, just bringing it back to the breath or to the sensations in the body. When you're ready, go ahead and flutter open the eyes. Take your arms out to a T. Bring your knees in towards the chest and then send them out to the right for a twist. Nice gentle movement. You can bring your right hand to rest on top of the knees. Turn your gaze to the left. Release your twist, bring it back through center and then send the knees to the left this time and your gaze to the right. Gently release, come back through to the center. Bring your feet down, keeping the knees bent for now. Bring your arms down by your sides. Press into the feet to lift the hips just a little and send the hips over to the left. And then walk your feet out long and send the feet over to the right. So keeping your hips to the left. Feet go out towards the right bottom corner of your mat. And then you're going to shimmy your upper body also to the right. So you're making this banana shape with the body. Reach the arms up overhead. You have the option here to cross your left foot over your right. Take hold of the left wrist with your right hand and to gaze out under the left arm. Getting a full side body stretch here. Release and bring your hands back down by your sides. You shimmy your upper body back to the center. Bring your feet back in line also and then bend the knees. Lift the hips up, send the hips to the right this time or take banana pose on the other side. So walking your feet towards that left corner of your mat. Sending the upper body to the left as well. Reach the arms up overhead and same thing, you have the option to cross right foot over left. And take hold of your right wrist with your left hand. Turn your head, look out under that right arm. Breathe. Release your banana pose, bring it back to the center, bend the knees. Bring your body back into its natural alignment. And then take your hands under the knees and you're just going to rock and roll a few times, just awakening the spine. Finding momentum here. And then coming to a seated position on your mat. So bring the legs into a cross-legged position. Bring your hands to cup the knees. And as you inhale, lift your heart, lift your gaze. And then exhale, round the back a whole lot, tuck your chin to your chest. Moving through a seated cat-cow here. Inhale, the chest lift, look up. Exhale, round. So moving like this in your own time. Linking movement with breath. Inhale to lift. Exhale to round. One more each way. Come back to neutral, keeping your hands on your knees. We'll make some really big upper body circles, so coming forwards and round. Using your hands as leverage here. Make 3 big circles this way before we change direction. And then take it the other way. Slow, steady movements. And when you've done 3 in both directions, come back to sit tall on your mat and then make your way into a tabletop position. We're just going to take a moment here to warm up through the wrists, because often when we're doing core strengthening poses, we find ourselves putting our weight down like this in our plank poses or in lots of downward facing dog, that kind of asana. So we want to really make sure our wrists are thoroughly warmed up. So the first one that we're going to do is turn our fingers to the sides, the outside edges of your mat. Notice how that feels and choose whether to stay here, or if you feel that you want to take it a little further, you can begin to gently rock side to side, but be really mindful in all of these rich wrist stretches, just because they can feel quite intense and we never want to feel pain. We just want to warm them up. Bring the fingers back to face the front of the mat. And then lift your right hand up and place the top of the hand down on the mat. And you can choose to stay here. If it feels okay, you can gently rock back and forth, but emphasis on gently. Be really mindful. Breathing into the top of the hand and the top of the wrist. Bring the right hand down. We'll do the same with the left hand. So bringing the top of the hand down, the fingers point towards the knees. Come back to your tabletop position and then turn both hands so the palms are down and the fingers are pointing towards your wrists. This one's very intense, so again be mindful and only move as far as you can without it causing pain. And if it feels okay, you can add some gentle back and forwards movements. If you'd rather stay in stillness, that's totally fine too. Gently release, come to sit down, and we'll just shake it out. Give the wrists a really good shake side to side. And then come back to your tabletop position, tuck the toes, lift the knees and lift the hips, take downward facing dog. Push the mat away, lift the hips up high, and immediately bring your awareness to the core. Notice how the belly button draws in towards the spine. Breathe. And then take a step with both feet out to the side. So your feet are as wide as your mat now. Lift those hips up high once more for this downward facing dog variation. And then we'll take a twist here. So lift your left hand and turn to the right as you take hold of the right leg wherever it reaches. And turn your gaze to look out under the right armpit. Breathe. Come back to neutral with the hands and take it to the left. So right hand reaches to the left leg. Breathe. Come back through to neutral. Step your feet back to hip distance apart. And then round forwards for a plank position. So remember, you can always take plank down on the knees if you prefer. Or you can take the extended version with the knees lifted. But wherever you are, really push the mat away. And feel a kind of roundedness to the back of your shoulders, almost like an arch. We're going to pause here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower to the forearms. And we'll hold here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back onto the hands. take downward facing dog. And right away, walk your feet to your hands. And as you inhale, lift up halfway, shoulder blades draw towards one another, and exhale, forward fold. As you inhale, rise into your chair pose, Utkatasana. So you're sitting low as if you're sitting on a chair. Bring your arms out in front of you, palms come to touch. Take a big breath in through the nose. And as you exhale, open your left arm out to the left. Your gaze follows as your fingers reach back behind you. Inhale, bring it back to the front. Exhale, open to the right. Look out over your right shoulder. Inhale to the front. Exhale, open to the left. Inhale to the front. Exhale to the right. Inhale to the front. Exhale, forward fold. Plant the hands. Step back to a plank position. Push the mat away. So pause here for just a moment. And then when you're ready, bring your right knee to touch your right elbow. Drop it down to touch the right wrist. Lift up to the right armpit. Exhale, step it back. We'll take it to the other side. Left knee to left elbow, wrist, armpit. Step it back. Lift the hips. Take downward facing dog. Take a big breath in through the nose. Big sigh through the mouth. Bend the knees deeply. Walk, step or hop to the front of the mat. And inhale, lift up halfway. Look ahead. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up to standing, reach the arms up overhead, look up. Exhale, hands to the heart, Tadasana. From here, take a big step back with the left foot and open up for warrior two. So your left foot is now parallel with the short edge of the mat. Your right foot faces to the front of the mat. Take your arms out wide, reaching the fingers as far away from one another as you can. Gaze out over that right middle finger. Breathe. As you inhale, reverse your warrior. Gaze up towards the sky. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, straighten the front leg, reach forwards with the upper body. And from here, keep your right arm where it is. And as you inhale, reach over with the left arm for a variation of triangle pose. Now, I recommend having a micro bend through the right leg here, just to keep from hyperextending through the knee. Bring your awareness to your core. Breathe. On your next inhale, come back to warrior two. And exhale, cartwheel the hands down, step back to plank position. From here, bring your left hand to the center of your mat, but slightly out in front of you as we turn to a side plank. So rolling onto the outside edge of your left foot, making sure that your wrist is not under the shoulder, but instead it's slightly further out. Push into that hand to lift your hips high. Try not to let the hips sink. Breathe. Option to lift the top leg if that feels okay. When you're ready, come back through to a regular plank pose and we'll take it to the other side. So this time your right hand comes to the center of your mat, making sure it's not directly under the shoulder. Roll onto the knife edge of your right foot. Lift your hips. Breathe. Option to lift the top leg if you wish. And on your next exhale, come back to your regular plank. Lift the hips, downward facing dog. Take a big inhale through the nose, big exhale through the mouth. Bend the knees deeply, walk, step or hop to the front of your mat. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. The arms reach overhead, look up. Exhale, hands to the heart. From here, take a big step back with the right foot. Open up, warrior two. Your arms are so strong, if someone was to push the arms, they would not move. Gaze out over your left middle finger. And as you inhale, reverse your warrior, look up. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, straighten the left leg, reach forwards with the upper body. Keep that left arm where it is. On your next inhale, reach the right arm up overhead. Remembering to keep a micro bend through that left knee if needed. Breathe, feel your core firing on here. And as you exhale, come back through to warrior two. Big breath in through the nose. And as you exhale, cartwheel the hands down. Step back to your plank position. Lower onto the knees. And come to a seated position on your mat. So keep the knees bent here and send the feet about halfway out in front of you. the feet and the knees come to touch, and place your hands under the knees and lengthen through the spine. Feel your collarbones broaden. Find your balance as you begin to lift the feet, leaning back for boat pose. So you can keep the hands right here under the knees, or you can bring the hands out in front of you with the palms touching. But wherever you are, try not to round through the back. Use your core strength here to keep you balanced. And we'll begin to alternate toe taps with each foot. So tapping left toes, then right. Let's do 3 more on each side. Moving in your own time. And when you're done, hug the knees into the chest, lengthen through the spine. Breathe. When you're ready, making your way back to your boat pose. Remembering to keep the collarbones broad and the spine long. This time, bring your hands out in front of you, interlace the fingers, but keep the index fingers pointing. And we're going to add in some twists. So take a big breath in through the nose. And as you exhale, twist to your right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Moving like this in your own time. Connecting movement with breath. Let's do 1 more each way. Hug the knees in as you lower the feet. And this time, slide your hands under the feet. Try and bring the big toe mounds, not the big toe mounds, the big toes to touch the wrists if they reach. Otherwise, just keep moving in that direction. And really press your feet into your hands. So you're stretching the soles of the feet, but also getting a wrist stretch here. And then when you're ready, lower your chin to your chest. Release. Lengthen your legs out, and the feet are about hip distance apart. Bring your hands halfway back behind you and press into the heels to lift the hips. Take an upward facing plank. You can let the head go back if that feels okay. Lower down when you're ready. Bringing the hands under the knees 1 more time, but this time we will rock our way down to a supine position. Keeping the knees bent, bring the feet down hip distance apart. Hands come down by your sides, press into the feet to lift the hips, coming into bridge pose. So you can stay right here, or you can interlace the hands underneath you and roll onto the sides of the arms, just to lift you up a little more. Bring it back to the breath. And release when you're ready. Extend your left leg long on the mat, hug your right knee into your chest, and use your left hand to pull that leg over the body as you open your right arm out to the right and your gaze looks over that right shoulder, taking a full body twist here. Guide the right leg back to the center. Lower the leg down onto the ground and hug the left knee in this time. Taking your twist on the other side, use that right hand to pull the leg up and over the body. Open your left arm to the left. Turn your head to look out to the left as well. And breathe here. Guide yourself back to lay on your back here. Bend the knees. Bring the soles of the feet to touch as you open your knees out away from one another, coming into Badakanasana. Bring your hands to rest on your belly. Close the eyes. Turn your awareness inwards. Noticing the gentle sensations as the energy shifts around the body. Where can you feel it? Noticing the breath, the rise and fall of the belly. And you can choose to stay here in Supta Badakanasana as we move into Savasana, or take your favorite relaxing pose. Wherever you are, close the eyes, take a big breath in through the nose, fill all the way up, and then open the mouth, big release with a sigh. Feeling yourself melting into your mat, giving yourself full permission to relax as you thank your body for all the hard work that it's just done. So we'll be here in Savasana for a few moments, and I'll call you back when Savasana is complete. Begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes as you start to deepen your breath. If you're in Supta Badakanasana, gently guide the knees towards one another. And then wherever you are, hug the knees into the chest. It might feel good to lift the head towards the knees. And then take your time to return to a comfortable seat on your mat. You can keep the eyes closed for now as you bring your hands to the heart, feeling a sense of gratitude to your yoga practice, to your commitment to work on your health, both physical and mental, and for showing up today. Namaste.